Alright, how's it going, guys? Zoro here once again for another live reaction. This time, One Piece chapter 1171. Thank you, everybody, for pulling up on a Monday, man. Crazy week. I apologize, that we're doing this a day late, but we are here. We are not missing One Piece. I will not miss One Piece for anything. For any rain, sleet, snow, it don't matter, bro. We're gonna be here. We're going to be here for the Oda greatness. But anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Wonderful Monday. Despite the weird schedule. Alright, we're going to get started in just a little bit. But per usual, if you're here, be sure to like the video. Support the stream. All that good stuff. Hit the like button. Support both the YouTube and the Twitch streams that are happening simultaneously. And yeah, man. We're going to get started soon. What's up, Dank? How we doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. TJ, yes, sir. Hit that like. You know what's up. Alright, looks like we're good stream-wise. If there's any issues, let me know. Oh, we got an early shit song, baby. Let's go.
Did you enjoy Season 1 of One Piece? I'm thinking they will make Season 2 half the length. So a short 500 episodes followed by a 200-hour movie. ZFB 124, he laughed.
Yo, Pudding, I thought you were talking about the live action. I was ready to talk about live action. Like, yeah, of course I love the live action. And then you're like, oh, you're talking about the anime season 1 of one. Why would they call it season? That's so stupid. Season 1, like really, we're doing this. 1,200 episodes, season 1, or whatever it was. I don't even know what episode number they're on in the anime. I mean, it's got to be something ridiculous, right? I mean, come on, like it's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But yes, I enjoyed season 1 of One Piece. I am curious what they're going to do going forward with the anime, because I'll be honest, like after recently rewatching the Rize movie and seeing how incredible the Rize movie was, it makes me truly wonder, could One Piece ever do a canon movie that follows a story arc? Like, if they did... I mean, we're past Egghead right now, but if they made an Egghead movie instead of the anime, would that have been a better product than having to go through this whole, process? I mean, obviously, I love Egghead in the anime. I love it. I think it's phenomenal. And in the manga, it's just a great arc. But I'm curious of what Oda would ever do that, One Piece would ever do that. My guess is no, only because they're behind only barely with the manga, or with the anime. They would catch up with the manga too fast, because the anime, or a movie rather, would cover too much episodes. So they want to keep that distance between anime and manga, right? And since they're doing that, I don't imagine, even with their really slow schedule release nowadays, that they'll be able to do that anytime soon. Maybe in the future, if Oda, since they're not doing weekly anymore, is going to get a big distance away, they can start doing episodes. So maybe we get Elbaf, the movie, or I don't know. We'll have to see. God Valley movie, something that I think would be peak. It'd be incredible. I don't think they're going to do it, but that would make for a good movie, man. That'd make for a great movie. Why not? Oh, why not, dude? It is what it is. I will admit I'm not the hugest Grateful Dead fan, but, obviously it's always sad to see someone lose their life, who is a great, wonderful musician. So, I feel you, Dank. I feel you, man. What do I think slash hope Zoro will do in 2026, bro? He's gonna. I mean, he is one of the important keys with himself and Luffy and Loki to defeating the Gods Knight because they have the Conqueror's Haki, and of course Gabin as well. They have the Conqueror's Haki capable of injuring them or stopping their regeneration. So Zoro's gonna have to put in work against Killingham or Summers or if fake Shank shows up, you know, him as well. Fuck it. But my guess is Zoro will fight Killingham because he has that weird weapon, right? So Zoro will fight Killingham. Summers against Scopper, although Scopper kind of bitched him last time, so I don't know what Scopper's doing. Maybe Scopper won't be fighting because he got injured. I don't know, but we'll say Loki versus. I think Loki and Summers is like atomic bomb versus coughing baby, though. It's like it feels like it's. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Zoro versus Killingham. Maybe Sanji unlocks a Conqueror's Haki and fights against Summers. That'd be pretty nice because like Summers is a big womanizer and Sanji's Sanji, so that could be something. Even though Summers is kind of a bitch, but hey, Sanji versus Summers, Zoro versus Killingham, and then Loki and Luffy team up to take down Emu inside of the body of Gunko. That's my guess. So Zoro's got big things ahead of him. I'm very excited. I'm doing good, man. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you can catch me live. I'm doing well. Thank you. Well, we got the thing about it is now that we're waiting for these seasons, right? These 20-something episode seasons. Like, if we're gonna wait anyway, you might as well make it a spectacle, bro. And like I said, I'm just influenced by how great the Rize movie was. In comparison to the first season of Chainsaw Man, maybe it's the source material that's just better. I don't know, but man, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the bandana's coming out, bro. It's coming out soon. It's coming out soon. But anyway, thank you very much for everyone stopping by on Monday. I know it's not my usual day to stream, so I really appreciate everyone who's here supporting the streams. Be sure to like the video if you want to support them even more while you're here. And we're going to get started very soon with the reaction. Very, very soon. Don't you worry. Per usual, feel free to pull up a chapter and get ready for when that time comes. But like the video, share it, all that good stuff. I'm a decent bit behind in JJK. Decent bit behind. Just to let you know, like, through the internet, I just know things about JJK I probably shouldn't. Well, I don't want to say too much because I don't exactly know, but I am pretty early on in JJK. I stopped reading, not because it's bad or anything. I don't know, just kind of like got to other things. I know there's an arc called not the Kyoto arc. What the hell is it called? It's called the Shibuya arc. That's supposed to be incredible. I haven't even gotten to that. So that's how behind I am. Miss you yesterday, my guy. Glad to catch you today. Yeah, absolutely. Glad you're here. Appreciate you, man. Yesterday was insane. I just couldn't. I was doing so much stuff. By the time I got home, it was way too late to stream. Way too late. But yeah, modern shonen is easier to adapt into a movie since unfortunately today's standards it's more about hype than story and character development. I think you can make story and character development in a movie so long as you're not condensing too much story material into that movie. Like I said, Chainsaw Man movie, phenomenal. There was more character and story development in that one movie than there was probably in season 1. And I like season 1 quite a bit, so that's saying a lot. It depends how it's executed. It's all about execution, man. You know? And I will say this, the last One Piece movie, Film Red, that's an example of stuffing too much material into too short of a time span. They needed to cut a lot of fat off of that movie. The pacing was horrendous in the first like 60 something minutes of that movie. I heard that arc is incredible from everyone I've talked to, who has talked about JJK. Um, but I'm quite behind. I am quite behind. There are certain shows that I don't know, man. It's not like I stopped watching out of disinterest. It's more of like my attention span, I guess, can't focus enough to stay on it. I don't know what it is. I like to think I have a pretty good attention span, but I'm not like I couldn't even finish My Hero. I just lost interest in it. JJK, I just kind of like got off of. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I need to get back. I need to get back to it. Just fights galore. Ah, I see. I see. Well, it makes sense why the people I talked to enjoyed it because they're fight heads. And I will say no more than that. All right, I've bullshitted enough. We're gonna get started with the reaction, guys. Pull up the chapter. Get ready for the reaction. It's time. One Piece, chapter 1171. Ragnar. And we got my boy Zoro on the cover. Of course, the goat. But it's weird because there's like a cat there. Cover request by Reverse Kitten. Of course, your name is Reverse Kitten. A cat putting cat ears on Zoro. Okay. He does not look happy, and I don't blame him. That's funny. Mrs. Green Apple's Babel no Toe Tower of Babel is a wonderful show. Mrs. Green Apple. So I was reading the author's notes. Sometimes I glance over to see if it's worth reading, but I saw Mrs. Green Apple and I got kind of hyped. Isn't Mrs. Green Apple the same band that sang the first Fire Force opening? Because I fucking love the first Fire Force opening. It's one of my favorite openings. And I haven't even seen Fire Force. So that's saying a lot about how good the song is. Or is that a different Mrs. Green Apple? Am I just talking shit? I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to give that song a particular shout out. If you haven't heard that song, it's goated. It's an awesome intro. And the full version's really good too. I have it on my Spotify. So yeah. Hold on a second. Oh, I think I have a phone call. 1 second. Now spam. Nothing. Alright. It's time. One Piece chapter 1171. Let's do it. If Harold left the castle in that state, he would have brought great calamity to the world. The wake of that fierce battle at the Quest Castle. Excuse me. I had a taste of that hopeless future during the fight. No matter how badly we wounded him, his body kept repairing himself. It's shocking to think something actually stopped him. Did you know this sacred treasure would be that powerful, Jarul? No, I actually knew nothing about it. All I know is I get chills down my spine when I imagine what would have happened if Loki hadn't been here today. When I join the God's Knights, it'll be a new dawn for Elbaf. Yeah, Shanks is like, oh, bad. Oh, bad, he's an idiot. No, he's feeling bad for him. I'm joking. But if you have any wish, simply name it, and it'll be within your reach. Truly endured a miserable, squalid life until now, my poor child. What a good father. What an amazing father. Look at that. He's like, my poor child, you have suffered. Allow me to alleviate that. Allow me to make your life less miserable. See, it's a good dad, dude. You know, good dad. It's kind of weird seeing Garling like this, all joking aside, you know? It's kind of odd. I don't know. Forget your former life on the surface. The commoners down there don't even count as people. Shanks? Hey, Shanks, stop it. That's a bad habit. You should never resent the circumstances of your birth. Seeing a little vulnerability from Shanks. This is good. I think this is fantastic. We're seeing a little vulnerability from Shanks. We're seeing a little bit of, like, dare I say, like, struggle with some internal issues with his family. This is actually some good development for Shanks. Why did Harold have to die? He was such a pure soul. He was an idiot, what he was. If only I had been faster. This isn't your fault. Listen, Shanks, you are here for a reason. Everyone's life has some meaning to it. You just gotta hold on. Is this what happens when you love your country too much? Oh. I hate seeing my goat like this, man. I hate seeing it. Loki's so fucking awesome, man. It hurts. It hurts me to see him like this. It really does. This sucks. And then he put his coat over Harold's body. And we see some Loki tats. He's got a sun on his shoulder, huh? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? He was a rare ancient giant. Oh, Emu speaking. Hold on. He was a rare ancient giant, enhanced with more power and an undying body. Those traits made him a true monster, and yet he was still killed? Who could have? Is something unforeseen lurking on Elbaf? Emu is shook, bro. He's shook about my goat Loki. He's shook about my goat Loki, man. Ah! I love it. That's my man, dude. That's my dude. We should have the Abyss pentagram carved by Harold inspected. That shall not be necessary. It would only result in the death of another knight. Every covenant comes with a price to be paid, even for Mu. So, are you guys telling me? Is Oda telling me that there is prices and rules and circumstances revolving around Emu's powers? There are limits to it? Well, there are limits to the power that Emu could bestow, possess, and contract. It's almost as if I called this back when people were complaining about the Domi Reversi stuff. Like, come on, we know Oda's gonna put limitations on it. He's gonna showcase how powerful he is in a vague way, so that people think, oh my god, he's this unbeatable monster. But then as time goes on and we learn more about Emu, we learn that there are limitations and exploits and vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Come on! This is writing 101, people. Lock in. Fucking lock in. This man is huffing and puffing. Alright? He had no qualms about lowering his head to appease humans. All he ever sought was communion with other nations and peoples. Harold was a total aberration. And yet he was born with the blood of those savage, battle-loving giants. Had we admitted him into the government flippantly, his very presence might have destroyed it from within. Elbaf should never have known a king of his disposition. Forging a covenant with a cooperative, ancient giant like him was an unprecedented opportunity. This disappointing outcome proves that history does not lie. We were always going to be incompatible. Oh shit. Never forget, Elbath is of the D. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean of the D? Hmm? What do you what my guess is right that Albaf was allied with Joy Boy and the D legacy, whatever that was, from the ancient kingdom back in the day. Back, they're Nika worshippers. Like, yeah, I mean it makes so they are people that were never allied with Emu in the past. Is probably what he's saying. Um, that is most likely what he means by that. As interesting as that phrase and the way that he actually said it is, yeah, Albaf. I mean, Jaguar D Sol, a giant with a D in his name, right? No other giants I can think of with a D in their name, but Jaguar D Sol. Um, one of the D's. So crazy thought just flowed through my mind. And you know me, guys. Once I have a crazy theory or thought, even if it sounds stupid in hindsight, I'm going to put it out there because I like to just talk and throw out spitball theories here. So, the celestial dragons are descendants from the 20 allied nations who bound together to fight the ancient kingdom and manifested the world government. And the celestial dragons are their offspring. Is it crazy to say that the ancient kingdom had its own version of that, and the D are the children of those 20 allied nations? Not 20 necessarily, but the ancient kingdom probably wasn't one unified entity. Maybe it was a collection of different islands or different states or different countries that were allied together, and the D were essentially the descendants. D for descendants, maybe, no, of the representatives of the ancient kingdom. That's why you can have a D that is a giant and a D that's like, Blackbeard. Just completely vastly different in physical nature, but they carry the D name because it's like you are a descendant of the royalty from the ancient kingdom. So maybe that's why the D are the enemies of God being Emu in this case. The D are the descendants of like lineage from the royalty of the ancient kingdom. I know like D probably means like half moon. It's like a crescent moon kind of thing. I know we talked about that, but I'm just talking about how the D got bestowed onto different lineages, different like biological people that are completely unrelated. It's got to be based off of something like that. So that's my thoughts. Am I crazy? Am I just talking shit? Like, what's going on, guys? Am I a nutbag here? I don't know. But when they say Elbaf is of the D, it makes me think that Elbaf was one of the kingdoms that were allied with the ancient kingdom. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just tossing shit at the wall. Anyway, let's continue. Loki. After this, the country will be in disarray. I'm heading out to sea, old timer. I'll take the surviving soldiers with me. What about Harold's final request? Tell the people of Elbaf what happened here. There is no way I can tell them the truth. Just drop it, all of you. Don't speak a word of what happened here today. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. He's too good for this world, man. Loki's too good for this world. He's like, fuck that. Tell nobody. Tell nobody. I want my father's legacy to be established, even though he was a bitch. If we say nothing, who do you think they'll blame for all this? It'll be the same as always. Say I were to become king. Can you see me actually honoring father's ideals? I can only tackle this in my own way. With this ability, I'll settle the regrets of the old man and his soldiers. Don't be stupid, Loki. The world government is a big organization. It won't be as easy as you think. Look at Shanks angry that he's about to get his pops taken out, bro. Back up. Back up, alright? I am genuinely curious, given what Shanks is learning here, what the hell happened between Shanks and Loki? Did Shanks really stop him? And if he did, why? Like, I really don't understand. Like, he is justified in this. Did he stop him for his own good to save him? To tie him up because he knew that he couldn't actually go through with taking out the world government? And did it for his own kind of safety? Stop him from himself? That's the only justification I can have. Otherwise, it makes Shanks kind of look like an asshole. But I imagine it's for a good reason. Shanks is clearly a good guy. Like, what's the situation here? Anyway, something big happened. Quest Castle was attacked, Your Highness. After that, I set out to sea. Oh, we're back! The flashback is over. No, I wanted to see the Shanks fight. No, I want to see Shanks and Loki fight, dude. No. I wanted to see that fight, man. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Howardin, by the time you guys returned to the island, everyone had already dubbed me Loki the Patricide. And I made no effort to correct that narrative, but it's not like I was crazy enough to brag about killing him either. I just didn't want everything he stood for to be dismissed because of how things turned out. With all that in mind, do you really think I should have told the people everything? Yeah, bitch. Harudin. He's telling the truth, Harudin. And look at Luffy locking in on a backstory. That's what I'm saying, Pudding. Look at Luffy locking in on a backstory. He's actually engaged right now. Okay, because maybe Shanks was involved. That's my guess. Shanks was involved, so he was interested in listening. But anyway, get it already? I really didn't want to relive all this crap. Elder Jarul always opposed to your execution. I can understand why you chose to keep this secret. Father choosing death in the face of the government's manipulation. The world government has been our enemy all this time. I wonder what did they do to Father. Indeed. And now they sent more knights to Albaf with deep ties to Harold. Even Loki doesn't know all the details about Harold's dealings in the Holy Land. I can fill you in if you want. That won't be necessary for now, Yasan. We can't do another backstory. We can't do another flashback, I meant. That won't be necessary. We've had enough flashback. We need to get to the main plot. Oh, let's go. He's like, hold on. Hold on a sec. Oh, thank you very much for the membership, Don, bro. Appreciate you, man. Haven't used one of these in months. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you. Staying a loyal crew member per usual. Very, very awesome. Thank you. Um, that won't be necessary for now, Yasan. We need no further reason to protect our country. Yeah, we got. Oh, yes, sir. We got Sanji. We got Sanji. Loki, it seems we both feel the same way about Father. I'm sorry for everything. For the sake of Albaf, let's make a stand together. Whoa, that's great, Loki. You can fight now. Crash. Whoa. That's one of the monsters that was rampaging here. They got a ton of creatures running wild. Where did they come from? Isn't that a Draugr? I never thought those were real. That'll be a good warm-up. Go on ahead. I'll just jump up. What in the world is that? I'll just jump up. I climbed this tree as a baby. That ain't shit to me. My God, I fucking love Loki, dude. He's goated. What's going on here? Hurry up, Hardin. Hey, Loki. We admit we prejudged you when we called you Kingsley, piece of crap. Really sorry. But this doesn't undo all the other things you've done. Shut up already. Shut up and go already. I don't need to hear you guys' yap. This is the best. I can move. It's so freeing. Roar. Hey, Doc. I know you want to take care of me here, but I'm worried about my son up there. Yeah, you make a good point. Be careful, Sanji. I've got it. Weren't you two going to stay behind? So, Yasop... Not Yasop. Yasan is coming. So, Scopper will be doing something. I don't know what he's going to be doing with injured like that, but we'll see. What are you still doing here? She. I'm dying to see you fight. Alright, let's show him your power, Ragnar. Squeak. Let's go. Niflheim. Bro, this man. Yo. Isn't Loki half ice giant, at least in the Marvel lore? I don't know if in the actual lore he's actually half ice giant. I think he is. But, yeah, it makes sense he'd have ice powers, right? Fucking him versus Aokiji Wen, dude. Him versus Aokiji Wen, dude. Maybe if he joins the Straw Hats, that'll be the battle, the matchup when he's fighting against fucking Blackbeard. If he joins the Straw Hats, which won't happen. I wish it does, but it's not going to happen. Loki can fight Aokiji, bro. Oh, can you imagine, bro? Luffy, Blackbeard, Aokiji against motherfucking Loki, dude. And then, Cinema, Niflheim. Even Luffy is shook. What? Ice powers are actually really good in this situation because you can't really destroy them, if I'm not mistaken. They regenerate, right? So freezing them and disabling them is the best way to go, making sure that they, don't keep coming back. So that's kind of fucking dope. Cinema, man. Loki's legitimately becoming one of my favorite characters. I know I keep saying that every arc for somebody. Like last arc it was Kuma, and Kuma's certainly up there. This arc it's Loki. But even in Wano there wasn't anyone that really jumped up my list. Not really. So it's not like this is every arc for me. It's just, you have to really earn this shit, and Loki's him. In the Viz, Loki says that he'll fly instead of jump up. We shall see what he ends up doing later. I mean, he has Thor's hammer, right? He's gonna be able to fly, right? So I mean, it makes sense. Thank you, Don Solo, for the gifted membership. Appreciate you, man. Congratulations, Malcolm, for the gift. Oh, Alti. Oh, Alti's good. I do love Alti. I mean, she's not in my like top characters list though. Like I love Alti. Don't get me wrong, but she's not like, you know what I mean. She isn't like amongst the goats. I'll say. Right. She's probably one of my favorite female characters, but I probably still have Robin, Nami, Perona above her. Hancock I still have above her. Like, you know, so it's not like she's. I do love Ulti though. Ulti's great. But yeah. Loki, these levels to this shit, bro. And this man is this man's throwing a perfect game right now. He's like in the bottom of the 7th inning, bro, and he's got a no-hitter going. He's got a perfect game going, and he just has to close it out. You just have to close out. Ulti thighs. Ultis? Is something else. Well, you have different motivations, my friend, as you can see. What was I saying? Bottom of the 7th. He just has to close out these last 3 innings, bro, and he's up there with the greats. Someone's gonna have to get moved out of my top 5. If this continues, bro, he's hitting it. He's getting there, man. He's getting there strong. I do quite like Ulti though. I got to think about that. Fuck. You got me, son of a bitch. You got me. By the way, if you're just joining us or join midstream, be sure to like the video, support the stream. We're not streaming on our usual Sunday afternoon, doing the Monday afternoon. So I understand, you know, obviously, you know, we're not gonna have our usual audience, but I do appreciate everyone who is here, who are supporting the stream at the moment. I really do appreciate that. So be sure to support even more if you'd like to by liking the video. And we're now going to go into the section where I answer your questions, talk a little bit about the chapter, implications, so on and so forth, and theories. We love our theories here. So let's go over the chapter again and just see if there's anything I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is Shanks. We got a little character development from Shanks this chapter. I mean, Shanks obviously has a solid character. We know who Shanks is in the current timeline. He's a very confident, very assured person. He seems to be good-natured and good-hearted. He helps out pirate crews that can't defend themselves by bringing them under his banner. He seems like a solid lad all around. You know, just in general, just an all-around great dude. Hold on, goddamn! Thank you, Don, for another gifted sub, man. Thank you very much, bro. You're really going crazy. You got to do all of this, but thank you so much. Damn, that's awesome. Thank you, man. But the Shanks development this chapter was very excellent. In this flashback, we see a little bit more of a younger Shanks, a little bit unsure of himself, really self-conscious about his lineage, to the point where you see Yasan saying, like, hey, man, just you can't regret the circumstances of your birth, man. This is a very Ace-like situation, right? And like to the point where he's having pains in his arm where his tattoo is, which makes like the whole like King of the Coast eating his arm thing even more meaningful, because it's a representation of himself being freed from his burdens of his family. It's just beautiful. It makes it come full circle, right? You can tell that he quite doesn't like the world government and how they view people, everyday people. But the question still remains for Shanks: what what the hell happened between here and current timeline, where he hasn't really done anything to oppose them? Is he just waiting? Was his gambit the gum gum fruit, and once Luffy got a hang of it, he just wanted to hold off until Luffy was able to be old enough to take the next step? I don't know. Is he just kind of like somewhat depressed because he's not the child of destiny he anticipated himself to be? What is Shanks' deal in current timeline? And of course, what's his relationship to Mihawk? What happened there? There's a lot of going on with Shanks we still need to learn, but I'm glad we're getting some little insights here. So it's actually quite good. Um, yeah. He had a visceral reaction. And then we have this awesome Loki moment where we see his sun tattoo, his Nika tattoo. Is this what happens when you love your country too much, bro? That's a bar. That's a line, man. Oh my god, that's a fucking bar. No, I will say, though, to answer Loki's question, this is what happens when you're a fucking ignoramus. When you're a naive dumbass. That's what happens. You shouldn't have to feel sad about. I mean, it's your dad, I get it, but he was a dumbass. He was a dumbass. Damn, I'm late, but finally catching a reaction again. Yeah, we're still streaming for a little bit. I did finish the chapter, but we are kind of just going over the chapter once again, just kind of covering things that I want to talk about. But while I'm doing this, feel free to post comments, theories, questions, all that good stuff. Then we get the whole diatribe from Emu. Emu is kind of scared of Elbaf because, like, who could have taken out Harold? Oh my god, who's lurking on Elbaf? He was kind of terrified. I guess, like, that also confirms that since Emu didn't actually see Loki defeat Harold, that whatever Emu did to Harold wasn't, like, direct body control. Like, Emu couldn't see through the eyes of Harold and had no idea exactly what happened. He could communicate with Harold. He could obviously manipulate Harold's soul or body. I would imagine soul. But he wasn't, like, physically, like, seeing through his. He didn't, like, take a direct possession of Harold in that moment. So he has no idea about Loki, his devil fruit, what he's capable of, so on and so forth. I wonder if Loki is a D too. Well, then Harold would have to be a D. Harold D. Harold D. No more Harold. Yay. Oh my god. On a scale of 0 to 0, how likely is it that Loki joins the crew? 0. No, I wouldn't say 0. I wouldn't say 0. You never know. You never know, man. I mean, 2. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. He's too strong, bro. He's too strong. Like, he's too strong. Like, how can he join the crew? It's just... He's too much, bro. He's too much. I feel like he's going to be grand. Like, Yamato, I feel like is too strong, too. It's going to be like a Grand Fleet situation. Like, we know based off of the mural that we saw that Loki was in the mural. He was in the fucking mural for the future portion of it. So he's going to be involved somehow. I don't think he's going to be a crew member. He's too independent for that. My thought is he'll just, like, lead Elbaf. He'll become king at the end of this arc, and something will happen like that. Ragnar alone would outclass half the crew. Half! You're being generous. Half the crew. No one is stepping to Ragnar except Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro. And I'm being generous when I say Sanji. I might be generous. Jinbei's getting clapped by the fucking squirrel, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tell me, am I wrong? Like legitimately. Yo, Don, the $20 super chat, bro. Thank you so much, bro. That is not necessary, man. Jesus, you're going crazy this stream, bro. Yo, I'm gonna be in Miami tomorrow night. We got to link up this week, Zorro. Oh shit. Well, I mean, I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, half day Friday, all day Saturday. So I don't know. I'm doing a crazy week this week. I don't know if I'll have time to go out. I appreciate the. I wish, because Miami's like, I'm not like, I don't live in Miami. I live north of Miami, like an hour and a half north of Miami, give or take. So I'm decently far away from Miami. I hate going to Miami too. By the way, I just want to put that out. Miami is the worst, bro. It is like a nightmare to go and to drive to Miami. It's terrible. Point is, I don't know if I'll be able to link up, Don, because it's gonna be crazy. Like technically 2 weeks, because next week I'm also working 6 days. Um, but yeah, we one of these days we gotta get it. We gotta get something, man, for sure. But thank you, appreciate the super chat, dude. That's just very nice of you. Um, but continuing on, rare ancient giant, emus, getting all sad and shit. Elbath is of the D. We talked about that earlier. Elbath is of the D. My weird theory that I've concocted, I have no idea if it's true or not, is how the celestial dragons are essentially the royalty of the world government, and they're the lineage of that those 20 kings that came together to fight against the ancient kingdom. My guess is the ancient kingdom had something similar. I don't imagine the ancient kingdom was just one race of people. It was probably a collection of multiple different countries or nations. If at one point the One Piece world was more or less water and more of like continents and things of that nature, I can imagine it being like a similar situation. Maybe the ancient kingdom was like a UN back in the day. And the kings of those nations during this fight, once maybe they realized things weren't going well, they, basically like wanted their lineage to live on, so they labeled them D to keep up the memory of this fight that they had with the world government. So my guess is, regardless of what D actually means in terms of what it represents, I think the people who have the letter D are descendants of the ancient kingdom's royalty. That's why you can have a giant who's a D. You can have someone like Luffy, dragon, and that can pass it down through lineage, but at the same time, they're genetically vastly different. People who have the name D, right? That's why Law and Luffy aren't related, but they're, somehow connected, right? Yeah. Does that make any sense? I mean, that squirrel is also huge in comparison. You're not wrong, LOL. The size alone, Ragnar might be the ship's... Yeah. Ragnar is like Cloud Sword from Final Fantasy. Yeah, in comparison to One Piece, yes. I mean... Ragnar broke Loki's hammer, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I just can't, because of how goofy it is, I can't, in good conscience, put it above Sanji. I can't do it. Logically speaking, it makes sense, but Ragnar is getting in Jinbei's cheeks, though. He's taking him out, bro. It's over. I'm sorry. No one, save for the monster trio, are dealing with Ragnar alone, let alone Loki wielding Ragnar. Only Luffy is stepping to Loki right now. Maybe Zoro could do something, but I don't think he wins that fight, to be honest. Um, Loki's just him, man. Loki's just him, bro. The feat with Harold is absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's nuts. Then Loki tells everyone, "Don't speak of what happened today. I want to know what's happening with Shanks." We get back to the flashback is finally over, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it up. The flashback is finally over. We love to see it. We love to see it. We fucking love to see it, baby. I don't get me wrong, because some people for some reason really didn't enjoy the flashback. I've been seeing like little bits and pieces here online of people complaining. I fucking love the flashback. I understand we want to move the story along, but you can't rush greatness, man. You can't rush greatness. I don't want One Piece's finale here to be rushed. You don't want it. I don't want it. Did I see the Zoro Sanji agenda last week? I don't really care about the agenda piece stuff, man. The One Piece mini magazine character profile said that Sanji has a lower bounty than Zoro. The two were evenly matched. Look, my source material. I've been very consistent on this, and this is for anything that either supports whatever I believe or disproves whatever I believe. I have only one source material that I care about, and that's the manga. Okay? Unless, well, technically two. If the manga says something, or if Oda himself says something, then I pay attention and care. If it's the anime, if it's the fucking, data books or anything adjacent, they've been wildly inconsistent and wrong before. It means nothing to me. And like I said, I've been consistent on this. There's been anime moments where I could point to and say, "Oh, Zoro this, Zoro that. Look what they did with Sanji here. Look how..." No, that doesn't matter to me. The anime is fun, it's great, but it's not the truth as I know it. It's only the manga and Oda. That's it. And what the manga and Oda has been saying clearly in big bold letters is that there is levels to this shit, bro. And one man is above another. And it's clear as day. And if you can't accept that, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Unless there's actual evidence that he actually approved it and he endorses that thought, then, that contradicts everything I've seen in the manga. I highly doubt it, Pudding. I highly doubt it. It's cope. You know what? Let people have their copium. Let people have their hopium. It helps them get through the day. It makes me happy. The manga is the source. I agree. 100%. And yeah, the anime can do little things to emphasize or to embolden certain aspects of the manga, but canon-wise, I only pay attention to the manga. That's it. That's it. That's it. Did Zeph cut off his own leg to eat it, or did he use a fucking chain to rip off his leg? Tell me that, chat. Did he use a chain to rip off his leg, or did he eat his own leg? We know he ate his own leg because it happened in the manga. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But let's continue. Luffy was locked into the backstory, which is dope. He never is usually locked in. My guess is because Shanks was involved. That's my guess, but who knows? There's information that El Jarul saved Loki from execution because of what happened. Haruden should have apologized a bit more, but he did apologize, so credit to him. These are Vikings. I wouldn't expect him to, like, do the fucking full pose, like, apology thing. And then the chapter ends with a Draugr showing up, big as fuck, big as a damn mountain, and Loki just one-shots him with fucking ice powers and Ragnar, dude. Oh. That's so fucking cool, man. So goddamn cool, man. Look at him, dude. And he said Ragnar. Oh, I didn't even think about this. He said Ragnar, let's show him your power. So is the ice power part of Ragnar's ability? Or so I would imagine Loki's ability is completely separate from the ice powers. Bro, Ragnar's so broken. Miami or Indiana? I'm not really a big college football guy, but I really know nothing about these teams. I'll be honest. I've seen a couple of the games that Miami played, and they pulled it off. They're a very scrappy team, but they are the underdogs. Right? If I'm not mistaken, the Indiana's like the 1 seed in this tournament. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's hard to do good flashbacks. Well, that's something better left for the anime. Well, I mean, that the anime just adapts the manga. Excuse me. So you have to at least set a foundation for the anime to work with. You can't just hand wave a flashback. Like, look, man. Do you know of an author, a mangaka specifically? Let's not go too far into making this about books. Do you know a mangaka, in your experience of reading manga, that surpasses Oda in terms of writing flashbacks? Do you? Like, I'm not saying all of them are hits. Like, well, I remember the Kaido flashback, right? But in terms of quality of body of work, is there anybody who does flashbacks better than Oda? No, I did finish the chapter already. I'm just kind of yapping. I'm just yapping, dude. The chapter is over. Look, don't get me wrong. Berserk is my favorite manga of all time. Mayura doesn't do flashbacks better than Oda. I know that's crazy. I know that's crazy. I love Mayura. Rest in peace. I don't want to talk bad of Mayura. This is not any disrespect to him. But Mayura's flashbacks are not better than Oda's flashbacks. You can say his writing is like, well, not his writing, his artwork is better by a large margin than Oda's. You could say that his character work is a lot better than Oda's, and it is. You can argue that his fights are better than Oda. It definitely is, but not the flashbacks. No. My issue with a lot of flashbacks in manga is that they're very bare bones, basic, and just fast and done. If you're gonna do a flashback, you have to go all the way. You can't be half-assed about it because you have to have justification for doing it in the first place. You have to care about what's happening. You have to care, and Oda makes you care. Well, yeah, but they weren't good. They weren't that good. If we're talking about character writing and flashbacks, that's one of Kishimoto's weakest, in my opinion, avenues. he does not give a shit about anyone not named Naruto and Sasuke. And maybe Gaara and Shikamaru. Maybe those four. He does not, and anyone with a Hashirama cell. He does not give a fuck about his characters at all outside of the main cast. It's crazy, bro. That's my biggest issue with Naruto is that he does not like, or Kishimoto does not like to develop his characters that are just waiting to be utilized. He can make the characters and make you interested in learning more about them, but then doesn't follow through with actually providing great detail to these characters. Can you tell me about Chino? Can you tell me about Kiba? Can you tell me about Choji? Maybe a little bit, because Choji's one of the few that got a little bit of love pre-time skip. Can you tell me about any of these people? Ino? Can we get a deep dive into Tamari? No, because Kishimoto fucking doesn't care about these characters. That's my point. Oda gives you flashbacks like for side characters better than people do their main character flashbacks. There is no flashback in Naruto that's half as good as fucking Kuma's. And I'll stand on that shit 10 toes down, baby. 10 toes. Tell me who has got a better backstory than that. Better flashback. Than Kuma's? Please. And that's not even not even close to a main character. Not off the top of my head, no. And you won't. I'll give you an hour to think about it. I'm not saying, I'm actually not saying live for an hour. But we don't even know 1010's last name. Her last name might be 10. Her first name might be 10. Her last name might be 10. For all we know. 1010. That's her name. He don't give a fuck about his side characters. That's a reason why Naruto will never be as good as One Piece for me. It's just... That's too much of a flaw. For as great as Naruto is, I cried during Naruto. I have such a deep connection with it to my childhood and nostalgia and all this stuff. For as much as I really love that story and I love some of the characters in that story, it will never surpass a certain point because, number one, it ended horribly in my opinion with that last arc. But besides that, it never developed the characters it needed to develop, and it just laid a fucking goose egg in terms of building off of the really awesome work that he did in the pre-time skip with, Sasuke retrieval arc. That's the best arc in Naruto to me. I know it's crazy, but I love that arc because it's really emotional. It's really the stakes are high. It's exciting. It's action packed. And he takes time for side characters to get their own fights and gives them depth. And then refused to do it after that point. Just refused. Sick to my fucking stomach. Sick to my goddamn stomach, bro. I love Law's backstory. I think his flashback is excellent. It's not on Kuma level by any stretch of the imagination. The Law backstory, if I remember correctly, did not make me cry with Corazon, but it was very good. It just wasn't Kuma good. Kuma good. And don't get me wrong, One Piece has its own problems. I'm not turning this into a One Piece versus Naruto thing. I'm just talking about in this particular category that we're discussing in terms of side character development and backstories and giving your side characters some importance and meaning and depth. There's no one that I know of that really does it like Oda. The only show that does it, there's two actually. There's two shows where I would say there is a similar level, you can argue, of side character development where you love so many different characters. They're all given a great amount of detail and love and personality. And those two shows, I want to see what you think in the chat. But there are two shows, if you know me, you know what I love. There are two shows that are great at developing their side characters There are a lot of them. They all have personality, purpose, meaning, depth, interesting qualities. Yeah. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat, bro. I don't think Luffy really has the mentality to really worry about Blackbeard right now. I don't think. I do not think Luffy. I do not think. Bro, Luffy ain't. He ain't put that together, bro. He ain't put that. He probably heard Shanks 2 times and perked up like a golden retriever, bro. That's about it. Well, yeah. Well, technically 3 shows. Now that you mentioned it, I wasn't. Actually, 3 shows now I'm thinking about it. Huh. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. I, I wasn't actually thinking about Bebop, but it absolutely does have that. Alright, so I'll just say them now. I'll stop bullshitting. So Cowboy Bebop is one of them, but I wasn't thinking of that. The second is actually Gintama. I fucking love Gintama. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a wonderful show. It's a wonderful show. The cast is so huge, and I love so many of the characters. They do a great job of making you care about these characters, giving them a lot of depth and meaning and purpose. And the cast is massive. It's not just a few. Like Bebop has a squad of 4. I was thinking more of like a big ensemble cast, right? Bebop has a main cast of 4. Although there are other characters like Vicious and Julia and some of these other characters that do obviously have great moments. But I'm talking about more like shonen ensemble casts. Gintama is one of them, and the second is Haikyuu. Haikyuu is fantastic in that regard. There are, like, the thing about Haikyuu, which is really impressive, is the author makes you care about every team that they play against. Every team. In terms of flashbacks, they do some really good flashbacks in Haikyuu with some of these teams and making them understand their situations and motivations and circumstances. Like, Haikyuu is excellent in that regard. And there are so many characters I love in Haikyuu that have nothing to do with the main cast. And even the main cast, it's a whole team of players. I love them all. I love them all. I cannot recommend Haikyuu enough, man. I fucking love Haikyuu, dude. It's so charming and endearing and warm and personal and sincere. You know, it's just it's a breath of fresh air. Not a lot of shows really have that sort of sincere positivity without being cringe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I hope Lodestar is next. That'd be hype. There's been hints of that. But yeah, we've gone over an hour. My voice is dying out. I think I'm gonna wrap this stream there. Luffy and Loki are not gonna fight unless Domi Reversey bullshit happens. So yeah, but I don't think it will. But yep, I'm gonna wrap the stream up there, guys. Have a great night, great day, great Monday, whatever the case may be. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good one. Thank you everyone for supporting the stream and the donations.